What is up, fellow YouTubers? So, right now I'm in the midst of uploading a couple of brand new vocal covers. Um, there's literally like 3 left from yesterday. So I've been uploading these covers since yesterday, but they'll get up and going in no time flat. So right here I have one of my pipes in my collection here. Let's see. This would be the church warden that was sent to me recently. This thing's pretty beast. If I go into my ashtray, I can see that there are a couple of filterless cigarette butts that are just begging to be smoked. And this is a great way to make sure that all the cigarette butts in your ashtray are out and empty, so you're not causing fires and you're not wasting tobacco when you throw your butts away. So I'm going to take my church warden and these cigarette butts and just squeeze them up into the pipe, just like that. You know, YouTube, I find myself saying you can't win. You just cannot win with women sometimes. Now, what makes me say this? Well, I'm not bullshitting you, YouTube. There are some women, and I'm not bullshitting you, there are some women who think it's sexist when you try to hold the door for them. Now, all the old school motherfuckers that grew up who are watching this video right now, let that sink in for a minute. When you were a kid, your mom and dad taught you right from wrong, or they should have. And they taught you that holding the door for an elderly person or a woman was just considered polite. But we live in a society where everyone is just easily offended. I mean, the simplest gesture of trying to be a decent human being turns into this political rant about how men are just pigs and, well, you're just trying to stare at my ass, weren't you? Like, well, maybe, but you kind of ruined it, honey. I'm joking, but no, seriously, have you encountered this? Like, I guess the term could be coined a new school kind of woman, but it's ridiculous. Like, women who complain about men being pigs and then don't give us the fair chance to be better people. That's like, okay, now it just seems like you're looking for a reason to bitch. That's what it feels like. And I don't know, man. Growing up in the 90s, I was born in 1991, so I'm like, what, 27 years old? So I'm an older millennial, and as an older, much older millennial, that's just how I was raised. That it's polite to hold the door for women. So, what the fuck makes a woman say, he's trying to be polite to me? That's sexist. It's like, okay, when you're treating somebody just like you treat anybody else, and that's the thing of it, is I don't just hold the door for women, you know? I'm one of those people that will hold the door for everybody. Because holding the door is just a common courtesy that you don't see too often. So I ask myself this one question, YouTube. How is it sexist to hold the door for a woman when you hold the door for everybody? Because I believe that the correct definition of sexist treatment is treating one sex better than the other. Correct? Yes. If the simplest term and definition for sexist treatment is you treat one sex better than the other. In other words, you don't treat them equally. By holding the door not just for women, but for men as well, you're showing the world that you are a fair player, that you're a courteous person. And you never know, YouTube, something as simple as holding the door for somebody, you know? I mean, it's a small courteous step, yes, but you'd be amazed at one simple act, just one simple act of kindness. You know what I'm saying? That person could be having a really rough day. You don't know. You truly do not know. That person could be having the world's shittiest day, and then out of nowhere, a complete stranger is nice to them and shows them a random act of kindness. And you stop and think for a second, you know what? Maybe life's not so shitty after all. There are still some people who have common decency. Which sometimes it's hard to find anymore. Civil decency, it just seems like it's hard to find. A lot of people, and I'm not trying to generalize the human population. Let's get that out of the way right now. Oh shit. A lot of people are trying to be courteous, and then a lot of people are in a hurry, you know. I mean, a lot of people, it seems like, try to be courteous and then they give up because no one else is courteous to them. But then they end up just becoming like the rest of us, in a hurry to get places, you know. Life is incredibly short, YouTube. Life is so goddamn short. And if you blink for just a second, you will literally watch life pass by your eyes. 1 minute, your parents are bringing life into a younger sibling, you know. 1 minute you have a younger brother or sister, and next minute your younger brother or sister is almost 21. Case in point, you know what I'm saying? Life has a way of just passing before your eyes. And, well, if you have kids, you know, cherish the fact that you have them, I guess. Because one day your kid might not be there. That's the thing about life, and I hate being this realistic about it, but sometimes your kid will die before you do. Knock on wood. Sometimes it doesn't play out like that. And it's unfortunate when, you know, that kind of thing happens. Usually the parents will die before the kid does. That's usually how it goes, because the parents are much, much older. But in some cases, that's not the case, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Here we go, it's unclogged. We got a fresh blow of tobacco. All my cigarette butts from my ashtray are squeezed into this church warden. Let's fire it up. Got the Playboy Bunny Bic lighter with the pipes and the bunnies on it. It's pretty cool looking. I mean, these are the same kind of women who sit there and tell their boyfriend, okay, they're on their period, they want some fucking ice cream, they hate the world, everyone's a bitch, okay? So you, being the caring boyfriend that you are, you're like, okay, honey, what kind of ice cream would you want? Do you want? I will go to the store and I will get it for you. She says strawberry, but she means chocolate. And then you go to the fucking store, you come back with some strawberry ice cream, and this is just stereotype and a cliche, and it's also a hypothetical that I use because some people are like that. And she gets pissed out because you grabbed the wrong flavor of ice cream, and all she had to do was text you and say, "Oh, I changed my mind. I want chocolate. Can you get that instead?" Women out there who expect men to be able to read their fucking minds, that makes me laugh. Now, it doesn't matter what relationship you have. If there's a lack of communication in your relationship, it can make things go sour real quickly. A lack of communication. Okay, communication. Communication is key to establishing a professional work environment and a healthy relationship. You think not. Okay, well, what happens when you're working a fast food restaurant and people don't do their job and communicate? Eventually, you're going to get angry customers. Hey, there's tea that's empty, or the soda pop machine's not working, you know? Or you fucked up my order. See what I'm saying? Lack of communication hurts. Now, it's a quote from Johnny Cash. Loving gets you killed. Trusting gets you hurt. Being real gets you hated. Yeah. People do crazy things for love. Trusting people gets you hurt because a lot of people will take advantage of your kindness. I'm a very kind person. I try to be a decent person. But people make that difficult, YouTube. I don't judge people based off of their sex, their preference in sex, their background, or any of that. I judge people based off of their character. I don't judge people based off of their shitty reputation. You know what I'm saying? To me, they're just another face in the crowd. To me, that person is just another person walking by in life. To me, that person is just another person. Just that, another person. A fellow human being walking through life, just like me. We may not have the same struggles, tastes, likes, dislikes, what have you. But at the end of the day, they're still just that, another human being. So that being said, why do humans treat each other like shit? Because when you stop and think about it, life sucks for everybody. Whether you're rich, poor, middle class, it don't matter. Life has a funny way of pissing on all of us. Life has a funny way of pissing on all of us. And even if that person doesn't think exactly like you, guess what? Even though that person has nothing in common with you, except for maybe one thing, they're going through life just like you. And the thing I have to ask myself, YouTube, is why do people no longer be courteous? That's a very honest answer. You know, the reason why a lot of people give up being courteous, the reason why a lot of people give up being courteous and nice to one another is because they've been treated like shit. Now, you notice that when you treat somebody else like shit, and it puts them in a sour mood, then the next person they treat like shit's gonna feel it because of what you did to them. And it spreads. It spreads like a goddamn infection. Now, the same could be said if you try to be a courteous person to one another. It spreads. You know what I'm saying? If you do a good deed for somebody and not even ask for anything in return, just do a good deed for somebody and not ask for anything in return. Watch. That makes their day a little bit better. So then, subconsciously, they end up doing the same thing for somebody else. So it's the same effect when you're nice to people. But trust and believe, when people yell at you, treat you like shit, it can be hard to be nice to people when they're not nice to you. But it comes down to the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. So even though when someone's treating you like shit, they're saying to you, I want you to treat me like shit. That's why I'm treating you like shit. Even though they're saying that, you say to yourself, I don't want to be disrespected. So, you know. So, next time someone's yelling at you, getting in your face over some stupid he said, she said bullshit, try this. I want you to look at them, and in the same tone they're giving you, I want you to yell at them, I believe in you. I think you're an awesome person, and you don't give yourself enough credit, and you need to have more confidence in yourself. I believe you can do anything you achieve, anything you set your mind to. Watch their reaction. Watch their reaction. Next time somebody's yelling at you over some stupid bullshit, flip the script on them. See what happens. There are some, and this is the thing of it. When you inadvertently get treated like shit, when you get treated like shit by a lot of people, it can have a negative consequence on your self-confidence. A lot of times, you won't try. A lot of people will use being treated like shit subconsciously as an excuse to not do anything. And it's unfortunate. You might have had a couple of shitty relationships. Big whoop. Don't use that as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? If I don't use my disability, if I don't use Asperger's as an excuse, then you don't have any excuses either. I mean, there are some things that we can't control because of our circumstances. There are some things we cannot control because of our circumstances. It is what it is. But circumstances are one thing, excuses are another. Here in a bit, I'm going to hit the shower and then do a little bit of stick collecting. Not necessarily in that order. I literally only need like 7 more sticks to start my next batch of wands. So I might head over to like Washington Park or Highland Cemetery and see what I can't gather. Because if I'm in Highland Cemetery with some branch cutters and groundskeepers see me, they're like, what are you doing? Well, I make wands for Etsy and I need sticks. It'd be cool if they're like, dude, come with us, we got you. And they take me to their little wood pile, or they, you know what I'm saying? Because usually, and every time I drive by or walk by Highland Cemetery here in town, gorgeous cemetery, by the way. That's Casper's only cemetery, and this thing is massive. It's not the biggest graveyard out there, but I tell you what, it's pretty. Very well kept. And sometimes, you know what I'm saying, if there's like a heavy storm, they'll blow sticks all over the place, and then groundskeepers gotta pick them all up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm very respectful when I go to the graveyard. I'll talk to people like they're alive, like, how are you? Nice weather we're having. I've seen firsthand experience what happens when you mess around. Like, one of my newest favorite YouTubers was was examining a haunted crypt that was abandoned. And he was in there all by himself. And this dude was getting paranormal evidence out the Asperger's, dude. I'm sitting here watching this shit like, holy fuck, dude. This dude's watching the chandelier move. Chairs are stacking up on top of each other. And he's like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I must be some kind of crazy bastard, you know what I'm saying? And for a spooky entertainment factor, I was watching this video like, dude, abandoned haunted crypt? That's goth as fuck. Yeah. And on camera, he's sitting there going, oh, I wonder if I should open this coffin. There might be a body inside. And as soon as he says that, he'd hear a noise every time. And he'd go to follow the noise. And the chairs would be stacked up and the chandelier would be moving. It was like the spirit of that ghost saying, it was like the ghost of that dead body saying, don't fuck with my resting place. Let me tell you something. Ghosts can sense when their final resting place is being fucked with, or if their body is being messed with. They can see that shit from the other side. Trust and belief. When you pass away and you're on the other side, you get to watch over your loved ones and your friends if they're still around. And you also get to watch over your final resting place. Now, how do I know this if I'm not dead? Think about it. If you do a little bit of research into the paranormal, there have been several people who have said things like, oh, so-and-so was so close to my family and now I feel like they watch over me. Think about it. How many times has it happened? Somebody accidentally disturbs an ancient Indian burial ground and then shit goes to hell in a handbasket. There have been several ghost stories where people have built houses on top of Indian burial grounds, and that house became extremely haunted afterwards. Based off of my research that I've done into the paranormal, and based off of video evidence that I've seen from other YouTubers, that's how I know. Even though I'm not dead, and not only that, YouTube, but I am a haunted person, if that makes any sense. I am extremely sensitive to the spirit world. Like, I can pick up on spiritual energy like you wouldn't believe. I'm very psychic when it comes to the feel of an area. Believe it or not, true story. I kept on getting this vibe that suicides happen in this apartment complex. Like, I kept on, like, when I first moved in here, I got that vibe. You know what I'm saying? That vibe that my spiritual psychic abilities tell me. Come to find out, there's been like 3 people that have killed themselves in this particular building. No disrespect to them, but when I found that out, I'm like, damn. To be fair, this apartment complex was built in like the 1930s. 1930s. This building is old as fuck, man. So there's gonna be some energy left behind from past lives, coexisting with the energy that lives in the building right now. Now, even though the past is no longer with us, the past, the present, and the future coexist on one endless loop. That being said, Albert Einstein's theory on energy, you cannot destroy it, you cannot make it. So where does it go when you die? It stays behind. It stays behind. Why do you think, YouTube, why do you think when you walk into a haunted building, you can just feel it? You know what I'm saying? When you walk into a building that has ghosts in it, you can just feel it. The residual energy that's left behind, you can just feel it in your bones. It makes the hair on your neck stand up. It gives you goosebumps. So what if the Big Bang that created Mother Earth was also the Big Bang that destroyed it? Think about it. Destruction breeds creativity. Think about that, YouTube. Okay? Destruction breeds creativity. Creativity breeds destruction. So what if by the time the sun goes out, hundreds and hundreds of years from now, when the sun goes out, and what little human life is left on Mother Earth is adapted with technology to survive for a couple of hundred years without sunlight, eventually the last human dies off, and all that technology collapses without getting substantial energy from the sun. You know what I'm saying? It could throw Earth's rotation off rotation. It could cause the Earth to explode. And all the energy and everything that's happened to that point, all that energy, it's like when you take a bottle of pop and you shake it up and you keep shaking it until all the fizz builds pressure on it. Now what happens when you take a pop and you shake it up? It gets real fizzy and you open it. It goes, it sprays everywhere. Same concept. Same exact concept. The billions of years of all that energy dying and being reborn. Think about it. Since the dawn of time, people have been fighting. War has been a part of history. War has been a part of history since the dawn of time. Reincarnation, motherfuckers. Trust and believe. So essentially, it's just the same souls killing each other in different times. We had the Greek War, the Roman War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam, you know what I'm saying? That being said, that would explain the feeling of deja vu, would it not? You sitting there thinking, fuck, I've been here before. I don't know how, I don't know why or when, but I swear to God, I've been here before. This feels way too familiar. you get into that pattern of life where it starts becoming familiar. Like you start predicting how life's gonna go for you because you've been there before. We've all lived this life before. YouTube. We unknowingly pass our death day every year we're alive and not even realize it. Just like we pass our birthday every year, we know that. Like the day we're born, like for me, March 26, 1991. So every March 26, I celebrate my birthday, obviously. But here's the thing of it. Here is the thing of it, YouTube. We unknowingly pass the day we die without knowing it. Because we don't know, we truly do not know. We unknowingly pass our death day every day or every year and we don't even realize it. So don't worry about when you're going to die. Just worry about making your life happen. Live for the moment because tomorrow's not promised. People constantly ask you, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Or where do you see yourself in blah, 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 blah? Okay, my final installment to this video. When people see you, when they ask those questions, where do you see yourself in X amount of time? Well, like I said, it's kind of hard to say accurately where you'll be in 10 years. If you would have told me in junior high and high school that I would have had sex with 7 different women by the time I was 27, and that I would be a YouTube celebrity, I wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed you. I would have been like, what? What? But I grew up in high school, junior high, and grade school, getting bullied, teased, and rejected by every girl I crush on. It sucks, but that's their loss, not mine. It's one of those look at me now moments. I got like 7,300 and some odd subscribers on YouTube. What the fuck do they have in their miserable, sad lives? Exactly my point. But, here's the thing of it, though. And here's the thing of it. When people ask you, where do you see yourself in 10 years? The honest answer, as you can say, is, I don't know. It's hard to say. Have a general idea. Try to have a general idea of where you want your life to go. Now, when someone says to me, Josh, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Me? Living in my dream house, 7 miles outside of town, or 4 miles outside of town. That's where I see myself in 10 years. Living in my dream house 4 miles outside of Casper, Wyoming, on my own personal plot. 4 miles, 20 acres of land. That's where I see myself. Although 20 acres might be too much, I'd be happy with just 7. You know what I'm saying? I don't need a whole lot of acreage. Just enough to build my dream house and have like a little forest around it. You know what I'm saying? Now, once you realize, okay, this is where I want to be 10 years from now. The second thing you gotta realize, goal orientation. Get motivated. Figure out what it's gonna take. Now, if I want my dream house, there's several things I can do. Win the lottery, become a well-known published author for writing books like scary stories and shit like that, or become a rock star. Because, yeah, those are the three options I have. Become a rock star, become a well-published author like Stephen King, or win the lottery. Realize what options you have and make it happen. This is King Cobra JFS with another Pipe Thoughts video. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you cool cobras on the flip side.